Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be a match between Last and Zero here on Fighting Spirit. Top left-hand corner, it is the yellow Zerg player Zero, going under his Smurf name Mithra, and in the bottom right, it is the purple Terran player Last under his name Gosu. Man, I love that one of his Smurf names is Gosu. Just exudes confidence. All right, man. So it's going to be a ZVT, which is apparently the most popular Brood War matchup on my channel, so you're welcome, ZVT fans. And yeah, these are pretty much the two of the best players in the world right now of Brood War. So I'm excited for this match, and you should be too. Hit that like button if you're excited. And yeah, so purple versus yellow. Purple Terran, don't see that very often, but here it is. Alright, so Zero here, let's see what he's doing here. So he's got 9 supply. Doop, doop, doop. Kind of feel like this is a hatch first. Kind of feel like this is a hatch first. What do you guys think? We're looking at the amount of minerals he's got. The Overlord comes in. Oh yeah, for sure. Since that is an Overlord coming in there. Got a couple more drones even in production. So yeah, probably going to be about a 12 hatch. Should be pretty safe as it is no kind of a proxy at all here for Last. And yeah, one drone goes down. Another drone goes down probably for scouting, which I'm a huge fan of. Drone scouting will let you know what your opponent is up to, assuming you can get there. So there's no right way to go unless you cross-spawn scout first, which I don't know. I guess maybe serial killers do that. But at this point, scouting bottom left, and then it will scout the bottom right and eventually get there. SCV doing the same thing, but going the opposite direction. So they should scout each other at approximately the same time. There's your pool coming up too, so about a 12 pool, 12 hatch. Well, 12 hatch, 12 pool, based on the number there. And then nothing too crazy on this side of the map. It's really just going to be the barracks. There's no gas being taken, so it feels like a one-racks expand out of Last, and he should definitely be safe to do so, as again, that pool's not even done yet. So drone scouting, SCV scouting. Trying to see what was what. The answer is pretty standard stuff. Nobody's doing anything crazy yet. Still no gas taken. No second barracks taken. So definitely this is going to be what we like to refer to as a one-racks expand. Rooney, SCV comes in and says, am I safe to scout? Is there a pool done? No. Excellent. So definitely safe to throw it on the command center. Let's do it as soon as possible. Drone comes in and tries to fight here, but the Marine control by Last is just too good, and that drone's going to die. Generally, a bunch of drones versus like a handful of Marines can do okay for themselves, especially if the Marines have no upgrades. In the case of a proxy barracks attack with the bunker coming up and things, but in a 1v1 situation, even if you are faster than the Marine, even if you hit pretty hard, you don't hit hard enough to win that fight. So Marine does manage to shove that away quite nicely. Still, no need for a bunker or anything, just going right for another barracks, which feels like we're setting up for a pretty solid Marine medic push, which again could force the Mutalisks out. And we've seen this stance before. I like the macro hatch here up on top of the ramp, but kind of we should go for a quick third. But macro hatch is safer, and perhaps just worried about a little bit more aggression from the Terran player. He didn't see the expansion go down. So as far as he knows, he tried to come in with the drone and scout it too, but nope. Didn't see that happen. As far as he knows, this could be like a 4 barracks, one base attack, but it's not, but he's playing it safe anyway. Making some Zerglings, going quickly for a lair. And these 3 Marines are pushing out, which I don't know about this. You see the number of Lings that are out here, and SCV gets picked off. You're kind of blind now. The Marines kind of think twice about heading on out with the number of Lings that exist. It would not go well for them. They don't have stim. They don't have any fire bats or medics to support them. Just the Marine count at this stage, but the Armory is on the way, and or the Academy rather, is on the way. No Armory yet, but we should get one sooner rather than later. Metabolic boost coming in from Zero, and there we go, just shoving them away. The Marines are doing okay for themselves. It is a 5 to a 6 situation there. 5 Marines to 6 Zerglings. Additional Marines coming up here too, and that lair is just about done. Academy is done. We'll see what Last gets here. He gets stim, so initially goes for stim as soon as he can. Doesn't really have resources to do much else. It does make 2 medics as soon as he can. And now we're feeling better about things. That SCV, oh, does sneak. No, I thought it snuck past. Did not sneak past and did get picked off. I'm not sure if it's going for a scout or possibly trying to throw an expansion down, trying to sneak it out there. I don't know, but now that there are medics, I kind of feel like these dudes are totally fine. Like, they're fine now, but the introduction of medics into Brood War was just game-changing in every possible way. And here we go. Now the Marines are like, hey guys, we will engage with you. We'll let you get right on top of us. You're not going to kill us now. Look, we've got medics, man. We don't need fire bats. We just have a couple medics. We almost have stim. This push is pretty scary, and therefore let the Sunkens begin. So 3 Sunkens in production here, still on 2 bases. But Aspire's on the way, and the second gas has been taken. So we will see some Mutalisks. The Lings are trying to delay as long as possible. Actually, what? Did he cancel? He canceled that creep. Feel like, I don't know. He feels like he can do it with 1, but I don't know if I agree with that entirely. This is a pretty intimidating push. 2, there we go. Third one. He canceled it. He decided he didn't need it. Oh, that's brutal. Lings kind of darting up here. They don't really want to be attacking the front. They want to maybe go for a bit of a wraparound. Is this just a feint out of last? It looks like maybe just a feint. It's pretty scary as is, I gotta say. Maybe he's worried that mutas are going to pop. Maybe that timer is going off in his head. And he knows. He knows something's going on here. Alright, bit of a Ling counterattack. They do take down a few Marines and a medic. Alright, that's not too bad, you guys. I'm on board with this. I'm down with this counterattack, slowing down the Terran push. Loving it. Even getting an SCV. Maybe even another SCV if you guys are strong enough. And no. Not enough. But yeah, that basically gave time for these mutas to come out. So there's already 6 of them with 3 more on the way. So 9 mutas is a pretty heavy investment out of 0. I'd love to see him expand behind this. Last is responding appropriately, throwing up 3 missile turrets. 4 missile turrets? 4 missile turrets at his natural base. And then an additional 3 or 4 in his main. He recognizes this is just not a regular Mutalisk style attack. This is not 5. This is going to be 9, which is a much scarier number. Hydralisk Den on the way. Probably going to go for some Lurkers and a 3rd base coming in at the same time. So yeah, 0 is expanding behind this, but I kind of feel like Last is ahead. It really hasn't lost that much economy or lost that much army. The Marines are still a great answer to this number of Mutalisks. They're going to be just fine here versus the 10. Any more Mutalisks coming out? Yeah, another 1 Mutalisk here, but it seems like we're done with those now. Lurker aspect is now being researched for 0, and Last getting Marines where he can, getting SCVs where he can, trying not to die to these missile turrets. Again, there's a dude in the missile turret, which you know he was there. You're not alone. I don't think I knew he was there for a long time either. Mutalisk count is back up to 10. Again, every missile turret shot is a bad one for these guys. They don't want to take missile turret shots, but at this point they are giving 0 map control. There's no way that Last is going to try to move out. At this stage, he's just he's totally fine with defending at this stage. And really, is it worth 1 SCV to take 4 or 5 hits from the missile turrets? I'm not sure that it is. Some purple mutas in here for sure, but most of them are orange and pretty happy and healthy. I gotta say, this group does not want to move out. I've seen smaller groups of Mutalisks do damage here. Honestly, I think the mutas should chase them, should go after these dudes. They're going up to that 3rd base. They're going to try to shut it down. If the mutas don't stop them, I'm not sure what does, to be honest. As I guess 3 Lurkers are on the way. Never mind. 3 Lurkers are on the way. 0's going to be cool. 0's totally cool. Is that a Queen's Nest? It certainly is. Let's go for a hive at the 8.5 minute mark. Seems totally reasonable to me. The tech up is beautiful. Out of 0. Last on the other side of things. Again, this Ling Muta stuff can really ruin your day. Last very intelligently pulling back. He's got more and more bio here. He's starting to integrate some tanks into the mix. Starting to get some science vessels for the first time here today. And the science vessels are going to be a big deal. The Muta's kind of darting on in. Oh, they came in the back door. This is a really bad place for Mutas to be. They're picking off a lot of SCVs. The ones on the gas especially are priority targets. And then they just fly on out. Oh, just kidding. Let's take a few more missile turret shots, I guess. Didn't lose a Mutalisk there. Hot dang. Hot didgeridoo. 0 is looking pretty good right now, guys. Sure, he's down about 4 overall supply, but his worker count is healthy. He's on 3 bases. What? Just okay. Just lost 3 mutas there for no reason, being a little bit careless with them. Could be worse. I just talked him up, and that happened. And did he didn't go after the wounded Mutalisks? Just like, hey man, you guys are mutas, right? You're gonna die. Irradiate is done too. So at this point, Last has everything he needs. He's got Marines, tanks, medics, science vessels with Irradiate. That's pretty much what he can roll with to the end of the game. Getting some dropships too for a bit of harassment if you're into that sort of thing, and it seems like he probably is. Here we go. There's the Irradiate on the Mutaflock, and splitting it off instantly, well, almost instantly, is 0. Pretty good stuff. And then just sacrificing it to the Terran gods. It is of no use to me. You get rid of it. Here goes nothing. Jumping on in, thinking about jumping on in. The lurkers burrow, the tanks set up, the lurkers unburrow and get out of there because tanks are terrifying to everything on the ground, including lurkers, especially if there's perma-detection in the form of a science vessel. Kind of like the vision that everybody has on the map here. Just individual units hanging out, trying to make sure they know where the other player is at all times. Lings and mutas can't really engage with that, not with the tanks especially. SCV does go down. I'm not sure if that was trying to expand to a third base or not, but if it was, pretty good pickoff out of 0. So Last, on the other hand, pretty happy with his tank count. Is he going to move over to a mech-style approach? Doesn't really look like it, does it? Got the one factory. He seems pretty happy with that at the stage. He's really starting to pump out bio. Well, continuing to pump out bio is probably the more accurate way to put it. Dropship is coming on in. I see you coming up that left side. And here we go. Lings, lurkers, mutalisks. Darting on in and then recognizing it's not a perfect situation, so let's pull back. That is a way that you win these games, guys, is recognizing that situation. Oh, the dropship, though. Dropship down. Only 2 Marines get out. That's horrible stuff. And dropping into this bio a little bit. With tank support, though. Oof, that was scary for Last, but he did manage to get the upper hand on it. These Marines are still alive? That's insane. There were 2 of them. I guess they were well positioned, and I guess they did have a medic, but geez. All right, well, it's 36 drones to 39 SCVs at the stage. Scourge really want that science vessel? No! Says Last. And we'll fire on that group of lurkers. 4 lurkers go down at once there. That one volley. 0 is in a world of hurt right now. The Defilers are present. The Consume is real. The Dark Swarm is a thing. And that is a game changer right there, too. As it does help hold the ramp. Without this, 0 loses this base. He loses his third and probably loses the game, but the Dark Swarm comes in just in time to save him. Irradiate, so problematic for these lurkers, though. 4th base along the left side does get scouted, and an army is coming up to murder it for Last. Last is just not allowing 0 to rest at all here today. A drop of the natural base, threatening the 3rd base, trying to take down the 4th base entirely. Huge engagement over on the right side. The tanks might be in trouble, as they are sieged in range of these lurkers. Lings getting on top 2 of them getting picked off. Major victory for 0. Left side attack getting fired upon, and it will end up going down. So, that was a bit of a decent win there, keeping that tank count low for 0, but losing that 4th base is problematic. 2 bases to 3 bases is exactly where Last wants to keep it. He's been making some pretty good trades thus far throughout the game. Dark Swarm obviously changes all of that. All of that. Irradiate. Pretty good, too. Bam. Science Vessel does go down. Dark Swarm again, changing the situation, and the tank is not going to be able to get out of there. Defiler down, but this whole group of Terran is also wiped out as a result. Got another Irradiate Dark Swarm battle here in the middle of the map, and Last again just running away from it. I mean, high-level analysis here is if you see a Dark Swarm in your Terran, just run. That's why you want the Dark Swarms to be defensive for the Zerg player, because you can just back off. Dark Swarms that are offensive and like right here are much harder to deal with because you can't just run away from it. I'd like to see 0 go for that here, but a Dark Swarm would be amazing. There's a Consume, and he's actually not throwing down the Dark Swarm. Maybe he feels like he doesn't need it at this stage. I don't know why he would feel that way, although Last is pulling back, so maybe that's what he knows. Another base coming up in the bottom left-hand corner and replacing the 4th base at the 9 o'clock position. Lurkers holding this position pretty effectively. There are no tanks to shut them down. Science Vessels coming across this way to try to see what they can do. Dark Swarm coming up. Zerglings. No, nobody wants to engage here. Yeah, those Lings are just massacred. Firebats and Marines, pretty good. Is Last going to be able to take down this 4th hatchery for the 2nd time today? It looks like he might be able to. Yeah, man. That Lurker's in a lot of trouble. Where did the Mutaflot come from? Has he been keeping these guys in reserve, or has he been making them? Either way, came in at just the right time. I think he's been keeping them in reserve for situations like this. And he does end up saving the hatch. So major victory there for Zero. Keeping it alive. Last. His 4th base was under attack here too. Did manage to save it with Marines and Firebats. And a Science Vessel, no big deal. This hatchery's still alive despite the fact there's a lot of Terran traffic outside. Just only thing keeping it there is that Last doesn't know it exists. So 5th base down south from Zero. Probably going to go for a 6th here too. The Firebat is actually waiting for that one. Oh, are these Mutas going to fly on in? They're going to fly on into this 4th base of Last and pick up all these juicy SCVs. Well, some of them anyway. These Mutas are not actually involved in this attack. They decided to join their friends eventually. All right. Fair enough. So SCVs are going to go down. Last pushing up the middle here. Zerglings running into their Dez. Not inside the Dark Swarm means they're extremely vulnerable. This base is still in a lot of trouble, though, but Last is crushing through right now. More Lings and Lurkers arrive. That is going to be problematic for Last, and he is going to pull back from it. All mining at the 4th base is going to go down here for Last. He's not saving it. He's not saving it. The SCVs come in and try to save it, but the SCVs are just dying instead. Last is still up 45 to 33 workers, but he's losing SCVs really fast right here. That command center is going to be in a burning down state. Nice plague. Oh, the Science Vessels. Ew. Any of these? No, just the one. Just the one got plagued. And this command center's not burning down anyway. So major save there out of Last. Really love to see that. Oh, no Sunkens. No Sunkens at this base yet. It's not ready for defense yet. And the drones are massacred. All right. So far, man, this has been a really good slugfest back and forth right now. It is only 39 drones. 39 drones for Zero. He's not saving the space. I think Last might have this game, you guys. I know it's not done, and it's not over until the fat lady sings, but it is looking really bad for Zero. Losing this base is a big deal. The fact that he couldn't kill this 4th base of Last is also a big deal. The Spider-Mine count is getting insane. Is he going into more of a... He's got a couple factories here. He could start working in some more tanks, but definitely the Vulture count is higher than a standard bio player would ever be able to do. Wings do jump on top of a couple of these Vultures, take those suckers down. Actually getting a Spider Mine before. 3 armor on those dudes, and a plague on the Science Vessels. Very nicely done. The Marines are sitting at +3 attack and +1 armor. Upgrades across the board have been pretty good on both of these guys. Science Vessels not enjoying any air armor whatsoever. That's not as good for them. So the hatch down, so we're looking at a 4 base to a 4 base scenario, or 4 base to a 3 base scenario, which does bode well for the future of this match, at least lasting for a little bit longer, if that's what you guys are into. But yeah, a lot of Lings, a lot of Lurkers. Ultralisk Cavern is on the way. Do love to see a good Ultra Cavern against Terran who's going bio like this. That tank count isn't high. Ultras can do pretty well for themselves. Lings jumping right on top of these Marines. Not doing super well. The medic positioning was good there. And I mean, just a handful of Zerg units pushing down this way, trying to see what they can do, but it's just not accomplishing a whole lot other than, again, pushing the purple wave back. Trying to expand in this bottom left-hand corner. Last is, but there are a couple Lings here, and that's not going to go as well for ya. This Firebat is like, what Zerglings? I don't see any Zerglings. Nope, not me. Spider Mines are so good. So good against Zerglings. They're good anyway. Spider Mine good unit, guys. Bunch of Vultures do go down. Oh, trying to stick around. Don't stick around. That's a horrible idea. All right, well, they're dead. Now they're forced to fight. Ling goes down, but as does the Firebat. Mutas continue to fly around, trying to be annoying, find stuff to kill without really being too high in number here, because you go Mass Mutalisk and suddenly the Marines just kill you. And suddenly the Irradiate is that much better than it already is. But 126 to 112 supply worker counts are essentially even at this stage, around 50 for both. Successful drop up here, and the dropship is down, which makes it a lot easier to kill these dudes and not allow them to go home, which is what you want to see here. Nice Plague. My gosh, the Plague. Ling's trying to jump on in, but that's still too much damage output to just absolutely destroy those Plagued units. They're not all the way Plagued yet either. Well, some of them are, but not all of them. This, again, scrappy match we're seeing right here, guys. Both players spending their money pretty effectively. Zero is floating a bit of cash. Never mind, he just made 7 Ultralisks. He's not floating a bit of cash anymore, y'all. He made 7 Ultralisks at the same time, which I love to see as a Zerg player. See if it works out for him. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him. Yeah, I mean, usually this stage of the game, we see players on 5, 6 bases, but they've both been so aggressive with each other. I don't know, man. Both those Defilers got irradiated. Might as well cast something before you die. Alright, Dark Swarm. Why not? Random Dark Swarm sounds good. Plague probably would have been better. Would have liked to see that a little bit more, but the Ultras are here, ladies and gentlemen. They have 6 armor. They have +1 attack. They're working on +2. They're working on Anabolic Synthesis. And the Science Vessels just started irradiating them now, because you're going to be wanting to do that later anyway. So irradiate them now, drop down that HP to a manageable level. Yeah, that's what happens to Marines who try to deal with Ultras. It's bad. More Science Vessels in production. Still just making nothing but Marines here. I can't help but say that's a mistake for last. You really want a bunch of tanks? You really want a bunch of Spider Mines? Vultures are fine. But your Marines are just not going to be as good for you here. Man, just jumping right on top of these lurkers, huh? I mean, a bunch of Marines die, but not nearly as many as you would think. That's a pretty good split out of last. And he makes sure this base does not actually happen. So last taking a base on the right side or trying to take it. Mutalisk's harassing that pretty effectively. I can't believe the Muta harass has stayed as good as it's been for 22 minutes into this match. That's insane. Yeah, so I mean, these are Cracklings with 3-2 upgrades. Bottom left-hand base. Again, Zero is just not allowed to have a 5th today. This is almost done, too. There's your cancel. Got a bit of a refund anyway. But no base for you. Zerglings making sure that doesn't happen on the right side for last. Ultras coming on in. This is a bit of a trapped situation here for last. Scourge picking off a couple of the Science Vessels here and there. Oh, a Plague would be so good right here. Right there. Science Vessels. He got it. He got him. And he Dark Swarms himself to stay alive, forcing an Irradiate to take him out. Oh, plaguing all of the Science Vessels was such a good move here. Repairing them would be nice last. You don't really have the economy to rebuild them at this stage. And okay, so 5th base now for Zero. Up in the top right-hand corner where there are 3 Marines and Firebat ready to go. But a pretty scary army supply here right now. We got Ling's Ultras. We got the Scourge. If the Mutas could actually catch these dudes. I don't know where the Mutas ended up. Are they dead? The Mutas are probably dead. Nice pulling back on those Scourge, though. Recognizing the threat. The Irradiate is up. And Science Vessel, 2 of them get picked off. You really only need 1 Scourge to get them because they're all been plagued, except for this one, apparently. What? 3 HP? All right. Well, Science Vessel count is not super high at the moment. The Dark Swarm is pretty good. The Ultras are fighting. Vultures cruising around, trying to find stuff to do, trying to find a place to throw down Spider Mines, if possible. 155 to 124 supply. The Ultras are doing a pretty good job of refusing to die here as one absolutely goes down. And now it gets surrounded and blown into the dirt. I don't know if that's actually how this works here. Oh, the Mutas do exist. Where have you guys been on those Science Vessels? You would have been so useful about 3 minutes ago. But yeah, I mean, at this point, Last is now stuck on 1 mining base. 5th base is successfully up for Zero. He's not mining from it at this stage, but he's fairly close, I suppose. More Irradiates going down. This is just a really big, scary Zerg army. It is 157 to 120 overall supply, and that is a big army advantage right now. For Zero, because, well, Zero actually has fewer workers, which means this number is even more in discrepancy. The Irradiates are pretty good. I mean, irradiating every one of these Ultras. It's got to be super intimidating to see it anyway, though. I just think Last's inability to take a 4th base is just the death of him. And the fact that he's continuing to pump out Marines, I don't understand. I don't understand the continual Marine production here, but Last taps out. He knows what's up. He sees what's going on. And Zero's your winner in 25 minutes and 6 seconds. I kind of feel robbed here. I kind of feel like I would have liked to see a final engagement between these two players, because look at this. Look at this army. It's all spread out. It's looking majestic. The upgrades are pretty fantastic. Got some Scourge in the mix. Everybody's glowing green. And yeah, last is like, I have a handful of Marines and some medics in different places here. Oh, he actually infested a command center. What? Hold on. Back it up. When did he do that? Gotta be this, yeah? Where on earth did he find a queen? Boy, it's so quiet without music, huh? When did he infest this? I must know. Oh, there it is. There it is. Is it injured enough that it can be infested sitting here at 700 HP? I thought it had to be... Oh. That was it. That was basically last going, I don't have another command center. I can't afford another command center. I guess I could lift this one off, but that's good. Just the icing on the cake. Zero just messing with them, man. He's like, yeah, we're good. Also, if these Marines had come down, they probably could have stopped that 5th base from happening. And this base is in a little bit of trouble, too. I guess the Lurker is having a pretty good time, but yeah, at the end of the day, this is just too much. This kind of just does an A move across the map, and there's really not much that can stop it from doing so. So, good stuff. I mean, that was really tuck and go for a minute there. Zero's inability to throw up a 5th base at all was really slowing him down. He just did a better job of denying a 4th base for the Terran, and that's what won him the game. So, pretty good micro on behalf of both players there. Really enjoyed the Dark Swarms, enjoyed the Plagues, enjoyed the Irradiates all over the place too. Pretty effective stuff. I mean, these guys injured, but not dead. 147 HP remaining on that guy. Not a whole lot. Let's check out that final score, and we'll get out of here. End of the day, 166,000 for Zero, 136,000 for last. 632 Zerg units produced, lost about 300 of them. That's a pretty good ratio for any Zerg player. 400 Terran units produced, lost about 300, not as good. Ended up raising 5 buildings, which isn't a huge deal here. And then resources, yeah. It's a 4-basing Zerg to a 3-basing Terran, and generally it's not that big of a deal, but no tanks to deal with the Ultras, man. He's just trying to irradiate them into the ground. It's not going to work out. You really want those tanks in that situation. If you can't make them, then you're in a bit of a bind, aren't ya? So, cool stuff, but that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of, oh, hang on a second, of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.